Hello, Alkaline Trio. I love them. I love them a lot. So we're gonna rank their albums. I did this for Green Day recently and I really enjoyed it. I got my ass handed to me on Reddit by some people who vastly disagreed with, with my opinions on albums that I like. Alkaline Trio, I feel like there's not many bands I could do this for, like rank their albums. Green Day and Alkaline Trio, I know like the back of my hand. In fact, I look through like old gigs and stuff, and Alkaline Trio are the band that I've seen live more than any other. It's double digits. Double digits I've seen them live, which is pretty wicked, to be honest with you. As always, let me know what your list would be in the comments. Let me know which ones you agree or disagree with. And I guess if you like Alkaline Trio, you might like some other stuff I do, so have a poke around and, I don't know, just live your life. You do you. Before I did the Green Day one, I said something like, as Green Day fans, we would all agree that everything they touch would be S tier, but we have to rank them. Same thing kind of stands for Alkaline Trio. If I could, I would put all of everything they do in S tier, but that defeats the point of making a ranking list. Okay, I'm gonna go and begin with the album that got me into Alkaline Trio, which is Crimson. Now, I was aware of Alkaline Trio before Crimson dropped. I was reading a lot of like Kerrang and watching Scuzz, and I don't really know. I was just really in that world when the album dropped, and then I remember seeing the video for Time to Waste, and these three guys kind of like all dressed in black. It just hit me. I remember seeing Matt's guitar, just the look of it, just thinking like, this is fucking dope, man. Now looking back at the albums, at the time I would have had it as S tier. I still think it holds up really well, but maybe it's not as strong as I first thought. It's still a banger. Burn, Mercy Me, Time to Waste, Sadie, The Poison is great. It's a really good album, actually. I'm kind of talking myself into putting it in S tier. I think Crimson is A tier for me, but you might disagree, so let's just pop it there. We can change things as we go. That is the beauty of the tier list. I feel happy about that. Let's move on to This Addiction. When This Addiction dropped, it was the first time I felt disappointed. I do think it's their weakest. There are some good songs on it, but as an album as a whole and them around that time, not sure what they were trying to do. I don't know, it didn't click with me. I know it doesn't click for many other fans as well, so I'm happy to put that in D tier. Of all of the albums I'm looking at, I'm like staring at the album covers now. I would just never go back and listen to it, really. I gave it enough chances when it came out, but I think at this point I wouldn't even go through the effort of going to listen to it when there's so many other records I could enjoy from the boys that I do spin and that I would spin. So let's take a look at Goddammit. I remember when HMV was still a thing, I saved up all of my money from my crappy part-time job I was working, went into HMV, and I bought the entire discography for Alkaline Trio, because that's what you just do when you're back then. We didn't have Spotify. God, I'm such a boomer. I was taken by surprise when I listened to Goddammit at how different it was to Crimson, because I was young, I didn't really know anything about the band. It was kind of like scrappy and raw. Obviously we know why, because it was like that early on. I loved everything about it. In fact, I would probably say listening to Goddammit was my first introduction to what punk sounded like, to what proper like a rock band punk sounded like. So I was listening to pop punk, I was listening to Crimson, I was listening to Green Day, listening to Blink and all these not overproduced, but well-produced albums. And then I came across Goddammit and there was something that clicked with me. I was like, fuck, that's like, there's energy in this record. Sometimes you realize why some of the production like takes away from some of that. Part of me wants to put it as an S tier album. How many S tiers am I allowed? It's so good. I love it. You don't get albums like that anymore. We'll put it there for now, and then if we want to change it later, we can. Okay, let's take a check on my Shame Is True. Or should we do Is This Thing Cursed? Let's do Is This Thing Cursed. It was like the most recent album. I covered Blackbird on my channel, by the way, if you wanted to check it out. This is a tough one, man. It's really tough. I feel like the album's okay, but it doesn't blow me away. It's so hard. I was gonna say it's nothing new, but that's the whole reason why we kind of enjoy what they do, because they do what they do and they do it well. It's not A or S tier because it doesn't blow me away, and it's not D tier because it's not absolutely tragic. I don't know if it's good enough to be B tier for me. Or is it? I might put it in C tier. I have no strong feelings towards this album, really. I didn't really get that excitement when it dropped properly. It was just like, okay, that's another album. And I'll put that in C tier. And whilst we're there, I had the same feelings for My Shame Is True, even though there is some good songs in there that I do keep listening to, like She Lied to the FBI and a few other tracks. But I think I'm gonna put My Shame Is True in C tier as well. You've probably noticed a bit of a trend here, which will go on, but the newer stuff, I'm not one of those fans who are like,
oh, I hate everything that a band does when it's new.
I'm generally a fan of when bands drop newer stuff, and I try and buy into it as much as possible, but I'm gonna say this, I feel like Alkaline Trio peaked at Crimson, and it's been somewhat downhill from there.
No! God, please, no! No!
That's my opinion. My general kind of like journey with Alkaline Trio is that I feel like the last thing they did which really blew me away was Crimson, and subsequent albums looking at This Addiction, Is This Thing Cursed, My Shame Is True, don't hold the same weight for me or have the same punch as the earlier albums, so we're gonna drop that there. Okay, we're getting there. B tier has not been filled up. I feel like it's a bit easy to chuck stuff in B tier. I'm gonna do one of them now. Contradicting myself with albums after Crimson, I do think Agony and Irony is somewhat underrated. I feel like things were a weird time then. I don't know what people were expecting. Also, I don't think this album is on Spotify, which is really frustrating. I don't know why that is. Yeah, I think it's underrated. There are some songs that I really, really enjoy off that album. And in my opinion, I do think that Agony and Irony is a better album than My Shame Is True, Is This Thing Cursed, and This Addiction. I've seen other people's lists and a lot of them have it down in the lowest rung next to This Addiction, which in my opinion is harsh, so I'm putting it in B tier, but you do you. If I'm wrong, that is what it is. I'm gonna now talk about my favorite Alkaline Trio of all time, which gives it away where it's gonna be sitting. The album I'm talking about is this boy right here, Good Morning. It's got so many good songs. Everything sounds amazing. Derek's drumming. Was this the first album Derek was on? But I should know this. As a fan, I should know this. I'm going to be talking on the premise that it's the first album that Derek drums on. If it's not, then please let me know if I'm completely wrong. It takes the band and takes the record to another level completely. This Could Be Love. Oh my god, we've had enough. Emma. Dan sounds fucking incredible on this album. His songwriting on this album is just insane, absolutely insane. Almost every track is a 10 out of 10 for me. I love the vibe. I love Matt's vocals. I think he was maybe having vocal issues around this point, but it actually makes the album a bit stronger and a bit different. Like, it's so dark, but so poppy as well. Like, Emma is such a catchy track, but there's other tracks in there, like All on Black and stuff. I think it's the best album they've done, in my opinion. So, Good Morning is going in S tier. I love it. Let me know what your S tier albums would be. That's the thing I'm most interested in, because I know people have different opinions on this kind of stuff. I've only got 2 more albums to rank. This has gone quick. So maybe I'll Catch Fire. Even though it's got the same kind of like tone and everything as God Damn It, there are songs in God Damn It that click with me more than maybe I'll Catch Fire. There obviously has some incredible tracks on it and like some fan favorites, and obviously fan favorites of mine as well, but I'm not sure. I think this was their like transition period from going into more polished stuff. It's difficult. I think for me, maybe I'll Catch Fire is a B tier album. If I'm gonna listen to that era of Alkaline Trio, I jump to God Damn It more often than I would listen to maybe I'll Catch Fire. So maybe I'll Catch Fire, I think I'm gonna put in B tier. Premature Infirmary, I think it's underrated as well. It's got some sick tracks. I love like Trucks and Trains, it's really good. Take Lots with Alcohol, Stupid Kid. I really enjoy this album. I think, again, Dan's writing is really good on this album. I feel like Dan's writing and Dan's vocals have got better over the years, and Matt has kind of stayed consistent. So for me, I think just for the sake of being fair, looking at it, I think I put it as an A tier album. I'm just gonna take a quick look at this list. Okay, I'm gonna push Good Morning to here because Good Morning is my fave of all time. But I will order these in the order of like which I enjoy them. Again, like I said, if there were less tiers here, I would have them all in S tier, but apart from This Addiction, we won't talk about that.
Ooh, sick burn.
But looking at this list right now, does sum up where I'm at with Alkaline Trio. I've also been listening to them for years and years now. I think that's a constant. If I could, I mean, I could do whatever I want because I'm in charge of my own life. If I could, I would do that. But having 3 in S tier feels a bit like, I kind of wanna. I kind of just wanna do it. Can I do that? Can I do that? Do it! I love Crimson. I'm a bit nostalgic. Things like this hold a place in my heart. Like because it changed my life. It sounds like lame, but at this age when I was getting into bands, like the entry point for when I really kind of got into them properly, that stuff, it is life-changing. And I still remember that. And even if the album for you guys doesn't hold up as well as the others, I think for me there's still something there. So I'm gonna do this. Okay, that looks very different, but it's fine. This is my final list. It changed a little bit at the end, but this is my final list. Let me know if you agree or disagree. I'm sure there's gonna be some stuff that people disagree with on there. If you like Alkaline Trio, we should just be friends anyway.
Oh, friend!
That's basically it. I love you. Have an amazing day and life, and see you later. Goodbye.